Welcome to the Computer History Museum. It's an honor to be here tonight. So Accenture is proud to serve as a headline sponsor for the 2019 Fellow Awards. As the world's leading consulting firm, we at Accenture understand just how quickly the tech industry has changed and progressed. Technology has transformed our world at an increasingly rapid pace. And Accenture is proud to help companies and individuals harness the power of technology to positively impact our future. Our eyes are always cast toward the future. In fact, our name, Accenture, is a hybrid of accentuate the future. And it can be easy to forget that change and impact are only possible because of the solid foundation that we build upon. Just looking at the distinguished Hall of Fame fellows on the wall outside this room, many of whom are here tonight, gives you an appreciation not only for the progress that we've made, but of those that have preceded us. And it inspires us as we move forward to a future loaded with possibility. Computing has transformed the world, and you fellows have transformed the world. At Accenture, we celebrate this history as we look forward to the future, and that's why we're proud to support the Computer History Museum. So on behalf of Accenture, representing the 477,000 employees worldwide, I'm happy to welcome you tonight and join in celebrating history with the induction of the Computer History 2019 Fellow Award honorees. So our first honoree this evening is James Gosling. He's best known for his leading role in the creation of the Java language. Introduced in 1995, Java was the outgrowth of a project to create a new language supporting the digital convergence of computers and home media devices. Java has gone far beyond these roots today to become one of the most diverse, successful, and frequently used programming languages in history, powering applications ranging from handheld devices to embedded systems to enterprise-scale data centers. Gosling sees Java as an enabling technology, saying, Java is not magical. It's a tool for people to build stuff. It's a hammer and a nail. Tonight, we honor James Gosling and present a short film where he shares his contributions to computing.
At one point when I was in junior high school, my dad took me over to the University of Calgary and took me on a little tour, and I kind of fell in love with the place. One of the places we went through was the data center, and spinning tapes and flashing lights and stuff that just dazzled me. It was just like the coolest stuff ever. So I taught myself how to program in Fortran and PL1, and they had some small little mini computers. They had some PDP-8s. I taught myself how to write programs on the PDP-8. Steve Jobs, when he went to Next, was saying, that consumers are relevant. And, we thought, yeah. And we decided that what we wanted to do to sort of explore the details of some of these ideas was to build a prototype, build a demo object that kind of encompassed some of these ideas.
I'm James Gosling, and this is Star 7. Star 7s were built as part of the Green Project at Sun Laboratories between 1991 and 1992.
The vision was all about building devices into your environment that could communicate with each other and that could be controlled remotely.
Now let's go into the living room.
One of our scenarios that we were trying to solve was the fact that, TVs and VCRs of the day, they all had their separate remote controls, and this felt like madness. But also to be able to use the devices for, interacting, to be able to control not just TVs and that, but the lighting and to be able to interact with friends, to be able to collaboratively watch movies, share all kinds of information. So we were coming to this realization that all the work that we were doing with the phone companies and with the cable companies was going absolutely nowhere. Because we were a bunch of engineers from Sun, everything that we had built had been based on internet technologies because it was the right answer. So we started working on a web browser and that we called Hot Java, and the primary thing that we were trying to put into it was the ability to have live interactive content. One of the applets that I had written was one that would display a 3D model of a molecule. So at the TED conference, it was either late '94 or early '95, I forget. When the time came for our demo, people were really used to seeing web pages that were just text and pictures, and so this web page comes up that's text about whatever the molecule was, and then a picture of the molecule. And I took the mouse and I moved it over to the molecule and I dragged it, and the molecule rotated. And this was the first time that any of these people had seen like an interactive dynamic object on a screen in a web page like that. And that happened in the audience was really amazing. The deal with Netscape was really important in getting this embedded in browsers and spread around the world. We worked really hard to make it so that if you had a desktop app, it could run on a Mac, it could run on a Unix box, or it could run on Windows. But all of those boxes had their own very specialized, weird services. And it took quite a long time to get things like cut and paste to work, so that we would have a consistent API across all the platforms. In general, desktop apps have kind of disappeared from all the platforms. I mean, it's really kind of crazy the extent to which web apps really took over the universe. Java became the platform for driving web apps. We're now nearly 30 years since the first Java program ran, and it's really hard to do anything in modern life without somewhere in that chain you're interacting with a Java program.
The 2019 Computer History Museum Fellow Award is presented to James Gosling for the conception, design, and implementation of the Java programming language. Please join me in welcoming James to the stage.
Well, thank you, everyone. I can't believe they picked some of those slices of video. The one about the green demo that we did. The bits and pieces of video from that were actually shot in 1992. Which, so that had like scroll bars with inertia and a whole lot of stuff. And that video has been a curse because people, like a decade later, started patenting the stuff that's in that video. And so I have spent a ridiculous amount of time getting dragged into patent lawsuits. It's like, why, Lord, please? I've kind of got the feeling that this audience is sort of stacked with old friends. So thank you for being here. But that also makes part of this really hard because, how do you thank something that, so maybe I was kind of the spark that sort of started building this thing. but it's really been the work of thousands. I mean, it kind of got seriously out of control. But there is one person who was involved in Java that I would like to call out. His name is Mike Sheridan. Is he still here, or did he flee? So yeah, I did Java, but he did the reason for Java. The Java came out of this thing called the Green Project, and it was motivated by a lot of thoughts that various people had, and there was kind of a business plan that got put together that was kind of a lot of scenarios, and it was this sort of vision document for how we thought the future might unfold, and that was Mike. So I basically just built Mike's science fiction fantasy. But the whole process has been filled with characters. Somehow I've managed to go through life without ever actually having a career. I am easily the luckiest person in the world. I grew up in a place where the word career didn't really exist. You had good years and bad years. You had good crops. The snow was really good one year, and not, and it's you just kind of pray and hope, and yeah, sometimes. And I'm good with that, right? That's kind of what I brought up with. But, just the whole cast of characters that have been involved in this, and they've all been crazy. So I had dinner today sitting next to my friend Jean Elliott, who was a marketing person. Her version, I'm doing this just to make you do that, Jean. Her version of an excellent marketing stunt was to put advertising printed on a condom and put it in giant punch bowls at conferences so that geeks could grab handfuls of condoms, which is so many layers of cognitive dissonance there. But the whole experience was packed with folks like that. So this is as awards go, this is a wonderful thing. So many wonderful people sort of did the really hard work. I was just playing around in a corner, and then this crowds of people who were actually talented came along and did stuff. But it really has been a privilege and a whole lot of fun. So thank you.